I love printing. I love printing. I love it. I love printing.
Hey everybody, want to welcome you back to another session with me, Warren Werbitt, and my new featured guest this week. We have Stacy Slaney.
Very good.
I got it right?
You did.
And you are from Shawmut.
You can do it. You can do it.
Shawmut
with the Boston
delivers.
accent.
Shawmut delivers.
Yes.
Is that good? Want me to say it
Yes,
again?
very good.
Shawmut
Communications Group. Yes.
Shawmut Communications Group. But for everybody who doesn't listen, for everyone who doesn't live in Boston and you go to their website, it's Shawmut delivers, just in case you don't spell it wrong when you're looking for them. Okay, I want to give you the real pronunciation. So now that we've got all the formalities out of the way, Stacy, thanks for joining me. It's pretty nice of you. You don't know what you're in for. It might get a little dangerous, but I'll go easy on you.
That's my pleasure.
So, it's a pleasure. And just so you know, I think there might be 3 people listening to us. But they're good people. They're good people.
They are good people.
They're good people. I only associate with good people. So for starters, before I ask you another question, I'd like for you to maybe tell us a little bit about Shawmut Delivers and what you do and what you're great at and anything you want to tell us about you guys. It's your commercial. 2 minutes. Go.
Sure. So my grandfather started Shawmut in 1951. I'm part of the 4th generation here. We're a commercial printer, and we've grown over the years to handle everything from concept and creative all the way through to post-production. And my general role is sales management.
How many salespeople do you have?
So we have 10 salespeople.
Ouch. And in case some of them are listening, how many of them are really good?
You know,
and be honest, because we all have good and bad. And for the ones, and by the way, for the ones that listen that know they're not the good ones, it's their opportunity to step it up, because our next call, you could talk better about them.
They all really, it's funny. It's a mix. So we have some that are hunters. We have some that, rely on relationships and referral. We created a new team of SDRs that are part of the sales group too as well. They're sales development reps that do a lot of the outreach, because we feel that filling the pipeline is really important.
Oh my God! By the way, not enough people talk about that.
All right, it's what's going to make or break your company.
Your client mix, is it certain sectors more in particular than others? Are you general?
Yeah, we have a pretty good mix. We do, we have a lot of medical device companies. We do a lot in the academia, higher ed. We have a lot of financial companies too as well. We have some retail, and obviously they've taken a hit with the COVID situation. But
I was gonna say higher ed and retail.
Yeah, well, higher ed too, kind of. They had a big need for signage. Getting the kids back to school and getting them back safe. So that was a big part of. We lost a bunch of business, but we gained it with the signage.
Cool. We need signs in the house to tell the kids to get out already. It's enough. I'm telling you, this COVID stuff is doing some crazy stuff to people, right?
It is.
The good thing is we're all eating dinner with our families again and talking, or we've learned how to talk again, right? As opposed to texting.
Gather around the table. It's very important.
So I have a question. How were you guys doing before COVID?
So we were having one of our best years to start. We really hit the ground hard, and we're having great sales. And then March came and things changed. Did
you have to lay anybody off in the beginning?
We did. We laid about 15 people off. So we're about 70 employees.
Wow. And are they back now?
We brought back a few, not all, but we've brought back a few. So.
Okay. And did you do the government PPE funding and stuff like that?
Yes. Yeah, we did.
And that worked well for you?
Yeah, that helped. That helped for sure. Yeah.
For sure unprecedented times.
Right. It's funny because we just don't, it was unpredictable before.
Right.
And it's continues to be unpredictable. You still have to forge forward. You can't change your goals. You just have to focus on it.
And you have to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Especially today, it's
Right.
if you don't, someone else is going to get at you. Are you doing a lot of direct mail?
Our direct mail numbers are a little down. I would say they're probably down about 10% or so, but
Oh my God, 10%. That's a gift.
yeah. On average, we were mailing about 1 million pieces a month.
Wow.
Yeah, it was more in the springtime, but now we've seen an uptick.
And in the mailing, are there any particular customers from industry that are mailing, or people mailing more in general, trying to reach people? Like, is there anything like that you could tell us?
Yeah, we've had some consistent people that mail. Some of our medical device companies do a lot of mailing. So they've been consistent and they're still doing outreach. So that's been good. We're seeing some of our nonprofits coming back and doing some mailings too as well. So a little bit of an uptick there.
Yeah, I would think the nonprofits are in a bit of a pickle right now.
They are.
Trying to raise some money while people don't have as much money through this process.
Right, for sure.
And what do you see yourself doing now as we're getting back? Do you have any plans or any major projects that you're working on?
We're always working on the sales side. Sustainability is a big part of what we believe here at Shawmut. We're SGB certified. And
by the way, sorry, great certification.
It is.
I would say the SPG certification is number one, and I would throw out FSC and PEFC and SFI. Yeah, well, no, and the reason I say throw them out is SFI, and I've already spoken to them, and they know that I don't like them. Even when I had the company, I didn't like paying the $4,000 a year, just so that we could make sure that, what do they say? That we don't mix the paper up with other jobs. Right? Paper comes in a box. We keep it with the job. We put it on. The other thing is most of the paper that we used to buy was FSC, so I never understood why the print side of things was paying for the process. But with SPG, when I remember when speaking to them, they come in and basically do an audit from the front door to the back door.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So it's not just the paper.
SGP. That's
SGP.
Exactly what they.
What did I say?
SGP.
Did I say SPG?
I think you did.
Yeah, that's my dyslexia kicking in.
That's okay.
Like my left hand, I call it my other right.
No, they do. They look at the company as a whole, and so it's the community too as well. So what do you do for your community? How do you support it? What do you do for your employees? Corporate culture is really important. We were certified about 18 months ago, and it's a continuous journey. So we're going to continue that journey as we go on. And we want to deal with like-minded companies too.
And are do you find a lot of people have big concerns about sustainability, like the customers?
Yes, I do. We deal with a lot of companies that not only is it important to the company, but it's important to the buyer too as well. So, we find that a lot of buyers are cognizant of it, but when the company comes down and says, this is a mission for us, they're obviously more aware of it and more cognizant of it.
So let me jump to marketing now. And I always love to do this with print companies because I used to love marketing. I used to spend a ton of money. I probably spent more money on marketing than we made. Just because only because I believed as a print company, it was my responsibility to make sure that everyone out there knew what we were doing. That's doing samples, doing mailings, dropping things off. What do you guys do to let people know that you exist?
So we do all of that. We actually have a creative team here, and I think a lot of print companies don't have that. We have a marketing person on staff, we have a creative person on staff too as well. We do a lot of outreach. My sister, who is our sustainable chair, she does a lot of the blogs. We're also members to Sustainable Brands too as well. We belong to up in New Hampshire, and her goal for next year is to start one here in Massachusetts.
So that's good.
It's really important to us. It's one of our biggest pet projects. My grandfather always did it. He came from that generation of waste not, want not. And I think he would be really proud of what we're doing here because we did it for many years. We just never advertised it or never bragged about it. And so here we are today, certified, and it's really part of our corporate culture.
Oh, I think that's great. And the people inside embrace it as well?
They do. At first we weren't sure what to expect, but Our first continuous improvement was to recycle any plastics within the office, people drinking out of bottles and things like that. And it reduced our waste from like 2 pickups to half a pickup a week.
No kidding.
You could hear people talking like, that shouldn't be thrown in that should go over here because it's plastic. It can be recycled.
Wow. So you're saving at least like $80 on garbage pickups.
We are,
right?
A little bit, yeah.
No, I'm saying it adds up quickly.
It does.
Are you planting trees with any of that money?
Well, funny you should ask.
Funny, I'm a funny guy, that's why.
We planted a garden in the summer. So I think we got 3 tomatoes, but it was a valiant effort.
Just 3 tomatoes. Tomatoes are the easiest things to grow.
Zucchini are the easiest, but that's okay.
Okay, but tomatoes like mine just go. So I guess next spring you can set up another garden and you guys could be having salad all summer at the office.
There you go. Exactly.
Save the environment and eat healthy.
That's right.
Oh, that's good. How many people do you have working with you?
So right now we have about 55. I want to see the total in our company.
Great.
About that.
And then I think you mentioned before that there's 4 siblings total.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And then we have the 4th generation, my nephew.
So you want to say anything about your siblings? Because they're going to see this. Maybe give you a chance to vent if you want.
Well, we're fortunate enough to really get along.
You stalled a little when you said that. I was listening. You're watching your words.
No,
I'm kidding with you.
We have a great relationship. We work together. We play together on the weekends. Our kids
scream together.
It's I wouldn't want to fight the battle with anybody else.
Oh God, well said. So, and then you just said there's a 4th generation starting?
Yes, my nephew started a few years ago.
Wow. So just where does that go down the road? I mean, it's a lot of mouths.
It is. Time will tell. I mean, I'm really confident about the future. We definitely have some bumps in the road, with everything with COVID, but like I said, you can't change your goals. Your goals, you have to focus on those. They can't change. And you might have to pivot, and we've done that. But I think those that will succeed and come out of this are the ones that are able to pivot and change, but also keep your eye on the goal.
Yeah, no, I think with what happened now is I think that before COVID, I think there was quite a few good companies who, for lack of better wording, got their shit together and they were up to date on what was happening, and they're looking at the mailing and the marketing services, and they're looking at some inkjet if their markets allowed for it. But I know that there was a lot of print companies that were behind the times for lots of different reasons. And, kind of what you just said, some of them were quick enough, able, smart enough to adapt quickly and pivot. But I think, unfortunately, we're going to see when all the funding and the loans and everything runs out, I think we're going to see a big void in some companies that aren't going to make it.
Right.
Right. Because of that. So that being said, have you thought about looking at any of your competitors for an acquisition or a nip and tuck or tuck and nip or whatever they want to call it?
Well, we're always looking, we're always looking, but it has to be the right fit too. Like I said, our corporate culture is very important to us. So, we don't rush into any of that. It has to be for the culture of the company.
Have you done any acquisitions in the past?
We have. We actually acquired a company that was a wide format company. We acquired them probably 6 years ago. And it was a great acquisition at the time, and it allowed us to now offer the wide format, which was.
So you weren't in wide format before?
No.
So that was definitely probably a smart. I did that too, actually. When I was in business, we bought a large format company. We were doing a little bit of large format, but when we bought the company, what it did was it just put us right in the middle of it, because they were already with the flatbeds, and they had all the people who knew the finishing and the sewing machines and the seaming machines and all that other stuff. A lot of printers are in large format, and all they do is print roll to roll and say they're in large format.
Right.
I think, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good to have the expertise there, you know, because it is different, and we needed the expertise to come along with it.
Oh, for sure. Well, I find, like, with what we do, from being general commercial printers in the beginning to digital coming along and then mailing and all the other services, we had to rethink what we were doing and smarten up a little, because it wasn't just the brick and mortar stuff. It was now some technical stuff, right? And it's all, so just the whole progression has been pretty good. And now I think you have to be more technical than craft, unfortunately. With the employees, do you cross-train anybody in case people don't show up or they're sick?
So yeah, I mean, we're a small company, but you know, that's one of the things that we really try to have cross-training, you know, so it's a goal for us, and we do it on the production side. But you know, it's difficult too. The challenges are just finding the time to devote the staff to learning that part of it, you know. So if you have someone that's running the digital equipment and you want them to run the wide format equipment, that's not really a big gap there, but in other equipment there is a big gap. So where the difficulty is, but we, you know, we do our best to try to focus on that and really have multiple people cross-trained.
Oh, you know what? Well, again, I have to say, when I was in business, because I don't have the company now, but that was one of the things that we were working on, and I found that it had a bunch of benefits to it. The first benefit to the company was, if ever somebody was not around, whether the person was great at what they were doing or not, we had someone to fill in, so nothing stopped. Might not have moved at 12,000 and only went at 4, but at least there was a trickle, and it was going. But some of the bigger benefits that I saw to that was, when you cross-train people, it changes them. It elevates them. It makes people feel good about themselves again if they weren't, or feel better, because now they feel as if the company has noticed them, is investing in them, is concerned for them, and is teaching them in their future, now has a better chance of surviving as things change.
Sure. Right.
You know? So I used to really like that. I always got off on people, like, when they would do well and, you know, good projects and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I love when other employees say, have you ever thought about doing it this way? Or what about this? I think it adds so much more to not only to the team, but when you see something through someone else's eyes, you know, I didn't think about it that way. You know, it brings a lot of value.
Well, I find sometimes as owners, we think we know a lot more than we do, and we might know certain things, but like you just said, from someone else's eyes looking in, you get another perspective. We just have to be open enough to listen and accept the perspective.
Sure.
Right. And I remember what I did once, and actually I thought it was a great idea, but I put a lucite box in the employee room, and I told everybody, or I asked everybody, if they had any suggestions or ideas or things that we could do. I said, because really you guys probably are the best, and girls, I don't want to, you know, piss anyone off with just the guys. Girls and guys, we'll put the guys second. But you guys are living and working it, you probably have some of the better ideas. So what I'd like to do is, for everybody who puts in suggestions, we're going to pick one every week, and the one we pick that week, we're going to give you $100 cash. And what we'll do is we'll list all the suggestions for people to see. We could discuss with you, yes, it's a good one, or no, it's not, but why? And then it just created some more interaction, because when you get busy, all you're doing is just everyone's coming in, punching, working, doing, and then getting out. So you take a little bit of company time and you have a little bit of gathering, and it's pretty good. Today, I think it's all about morale. Do you guys have a social club for the employees, or do they have one that they manage?
So we have a fun committee, and the fun committee will throw certain events, you know, throughout the year. They've changed a little bit, for obvious reasons, but we had a social distancing barbecue over the summer.
Cool.
It was fun. Yeah, and we do things like when the Patriots are playing or the Red Sox are playing, we'll have like a, you know, first game celebration, or when they
tailgate party in the company parking lot.
right. But they work on all that fun stuff, dressing up for Halloween and all that jazz. So it's fun. It's fun, and we made it a point for none of the ownership to be part of it, to really come from the fun committee. And
Right. Well, you have to dress up and be part of it. You just can't win the contest. You just can't win the contest.
Right.
Because we used to do the same thing. Yeah, no, we used to do the same thing. Because I mean, you know what? Everyone's always working, and not enough time to just chill out and relax. We used to have the barbecues. I used to, with a couple other people, would do the cooking just so people could watch me sweat out in the heat.
I'm a good cook. I mean, that's not a bad idea. I could handle that.
No, and you know what? They laugh as you're flipping burgers and they're going all over the place. And then it gets everybody outside together for an hour.
No, it's good. It's good. Everybody works so hard. It's not an easy industry to be in. And, you need that time together as a team to sort of unwind. And
you know what? I find it's not even the industry. I find it's life today that's very filling, busy. This COVID, I guess, has stopped a lot of activities for a lot of people. So we had time to simmer down and just take a breath. Not that we're happy to simmer down and relax a little, but I believe that there'll be some positive outcome from it for some people in terms of having the time to think before you do things now.
Yeah, I noticed when COVID first hit that there was a lot of people walking around in the neighborhoods. And I think that in, my neighborhood in particular, and I think that still has continued. It's slowed down a little bit, but not as
because it's getting colder.
It is getting colder.
Darker early.
I know. But I think if anything, if you don't learn a lesson from it, then shame on us, right? If we come out of this, shame on us if we haven't learned the lesson.
I agree. So is there anything else you'd like to tell my 3 listeners? By the way, there might be 6. I'm joking. It could be a little more than that.
There might be 6? Okay.
There might be 6.
I think, no, I just appreciate the opportunity. It was wonderful speaking with you.
Cool.
Laughed a lot, which is really important. You've got to laugh, right?
Oh my God, you got. And by the way, for everyone listening, I did not pay for her to come on and speak with me. I've been getting people telling me I'm paying people to talk to me because I don't really want to talk to me. But
did I give you my address for the check, or were you going to Venmo me?
It's in the mail. I mailed it out last week. You don't have it? You didn't get it yet? It's coming any day now.
Yeah, you have the kids show you how to set up the Venmo.
Yeah, maybe I didn't put the stamp on. I just threw it in the mailbox. I don't know. Wouldn't be the first time. Anyways, great. And so first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to chat with me.
Well, thank you, Warren. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was wonderful talking to you. And thank you to the 3 listeners who are listening, or 6 actually.
We thank them.
We do.